What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. This is Manuel. We have Carlos in New York, and joining us all the way from Italy. This time, we have Clementine Delauney from Visions of Atlantis. Hey, Clementine, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good, guys. How are you?
Well, a bit sweaty here in Madrid. We have an awful heat coming up, plus some technical difficulties at the start, but we could manage.
Yeah,
After
it's always
flooding of the whole Europe. You get the heat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the heat is also hitting New York, and it's always a pleasure to chat with you, Clemmy.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Yeah,
it's not the first time. Welcome back to our channel. And to start the conversation, I would like to ask you, what is the last show you have attended as a fan, not as a performer?
So it was actually the last time I was at Metal Fest, like last weekend, because I could see Tarja on stage again, and I grew up with Nightwish a lot when I was younger and discovering metal. So it's always something for me to hear her live, especially when, her solo career is immense and very valuable. But for sure, when she sings a Nightwish song, especially this time with Marco Yetala, that was very special. And there was another band that I never saw live before that I kind of had been longing to see live, is Demo Borgia.
Oh,
wow.
And I never saw them live before. It's not like they're not, I have the feeling like they don't tour this much, or they're not around so much. So I was like, wow, I want to see them. And because they were also one of the bands back then that I really, really, really loved, some of their previous work. And when they played Progenies of the Apocalypse, I had my moment. So here you go.
Yeah, I haven't seen
choices.
them either. The last 3 years we've been doing this, they haven't been too active. So yeah, we're looking forward to checking them out.
Yeah, and I have to throw this.
All right.
You were seeing the show from Tarja. She's a queen, and you are the pirate queen. So there is like a queen to queen thing going on there. The last time we met, Clemmy, was not long ago during your North American tour in the spring of this year, 2024. The show was so high octane here in New York. It was so much fun that I couldn't resist the temptation to go on the pit and jump with the crowd and everything. There is a great chemistry in the band. That is undeniable. And especially you and Mick make magic on stage. How do you manage to keep the energy and motivation levels up while touring, especially in moments of adversity?
Well, it's a nice question. It's not a given that it's easy or even possible to do that, But there is one thing for sure, is that we love what we do. The show is the part of the tour that I enjoy the most. It's the reason why I'm doing what we're doing. This is the reason why we put so much effort in everything we're doing, and making that career our main priority is because we just love our music and love sharing it with people. So when there are tensions, when there are moments of life that are difficult, and they happen on tour, and we know we're going to play a show and it's going to glue things back together as a band, as friends, as colleagues, as people sharing a very tight space, So I think the recipe is how connected you are to what you're doing, how much joy you find in doing that. And if that is not enough to counterbalance the negative aspects of this whole thing, then you might want to change the goal and mission.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I remember in this last tour, there was a city, don't remember the city, where the energy just went out. There was a blackout. and you have to improvise and do a set without electric guitars or anything else that you normally use in your show. That was an impromptu solution.
Yeah.
So that was a special performance for the people who was attending that show.
Yeah, absolutely. Suddenly, the electricity couldn't support our system, and we were left with, okay, we cannot play our show. What should we do? And we're lucky enough that we've been working on an acoustic set because we play acoustic songs at our meet and greet with people. So we were like, all right, let's just go acoustic, because we can. And we brought the keyboards back from the trailer and the acoustic guitar and the con. And suddenly we did our song that we generally do for an intimate concert. We finally do live on a real stage, and we were not prepared for that at all. But still, it was a very intense memory and a beautiful moment because the crowd there was so supportive. The people of Mesa, Arizona, were so supportive that gave us, a little bit of calming, soothing balm to our wounds as we had to give up and let go of the idea of making our show.
Right. That was a special moment. Also, when you were touring Latin America, Thomas got sick, and you have to bring another drummer for some dates on the tour. That was also another
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's great that
Yeah,
you are
absolutely.
able to overcome all these challenges along the road.
Yeah.
Now, Pirates 2 Armada, it's set to be released July 5th of this year, 2024, through Napalm Records. There is no doubt, Clemmy, the band has grown, matured, and expanded their sound in recent years. This new album continues the narrative of the previous one, and given the fact that Pirates was such a successful effort, what challenges did you have to circumvent to compose Armada?
It's funny because a lot of people are asking that question. Like you made such a good record, wasn't it so much pressure to make a new one that had to be at least as good or if not better? And I think that if we would put that pressure right away from our songwriting heads and hearts and soul, I don't think nothing very valuable or genuine will come out of that. It would be like, okay, let's try to do exactly the same, and it's impossible to write twice the same song. Exactly. Yeah. It wouldn't make any sense to repeat it. Meek is a musical genius. He has music in his head all the time. So to be very honest, when Pirates 1 came out, he already was writing Pirates 2. I mean, back then we didn't know it was going to be a Pirates 2. It was just already writing music because that's what he loves doing, because that's his soul calling. So he just writes music. And the good thing is that, and it's a rule for everything, the more you do something normally, the better you get good at it. So he's been writing songs for 25 years now with his previous bands before, and also it's not like he's a beginner at songwriting, and he understood and he found his own way with Visions of Atlantis, the pirate universe that he also loves. So from the moment, it was a continuity of songwriting, and even now, I've seen on his desk the title of the folder of songs he's already started to play with, and it's called Pirates 3.
Hey, you stole my joke. I was waiting for you to pause just to say there's a Pirates 3 folder there somewhere in his computer right now.
Exactly. So to come back to your question, the place from which Meek writes songs is a joyful, self-fulfilling place. He writes songs for himself, and yes, for the band and for me and for us and together, and we also refine things together. But it comes from a place of it's just the music that comes out of him. He's not writing under pressure. He would never want to write for anyone else like that. He writes the music he feels. And so when we started to write Pirates 2, we wrote songs we loved. We made the best we could out of them. And we wrote way more songs than those that ended up on the record. And that was the key in making Pirates 2, because the whole first phase was writing as many songs, also being aware of the kind of songs we were writing. We knew we need some ballads. We knew we need some more heavier tracks. We wanted to explore more of the heavier sound of our band. That's why Armada is a little darker and heavier album than Pirates. And we wanted to flirt with different things. We went to Marrakesh on a trip, and we came back with, we wanted to throw Oriental things all over the place. So we made Tonight I'm Live, you know, because life inspires you too.
Yep.
So long story short, there was no pressure to make a better record. It was not about that at all. It was like, we're human beings. We need to do things that fulfills ourselves first. And we want to write that music. And we, right now, at this moment, love that song. These things are shaping up together. That's the most important part. Then we start the work with the producer, refining details, finding the theme of the song, writing lyrics and everything. And at the end, when we have 16 songs and we need only 10 or 12, then this is where we sit down and we're like, okay, from all of this, which record is going to come out of it?
Yeah.
And this is where, you know, you balance things and you choose what you think as a whole works the best.
It's great to hear that the music you create comes from the soul and not from pressures, outside pressures from other people or other things. Because I think that's what the connection lies between the band and the fans. Because when the music and the art is done from the heart, I think the connection will be even stronger with the public, with the fans. So that's just great.
Clemmy, Pirates was very special for us. We had it nominated as one of the best records on that year, 2022, I believe. And we already talked about the expectations on Pirates 2. They are not a source of pressure for you. But are there any thematics that bridge one to the other one and maybe to a potential third one?
You mean on the themes of the song?
Yeah, if these were movies, so to speak, what is the thread that links them together?
There was a thread between some of the songs within the Pirates album. And I don't think I can really create a thread from Pirates 1 to Pirates 2. Because every time, personally as a lyricist, I love the album to be a one piece and stand on its own. And have a sort of a beginning and an end of a quest or of a question, let's say. So I want to feel the whole album is complete and I don't have to add anything to it. So between Pirates 1 and Pirates 2, I don't think there is like a very conscious connection between some of the songs. But within Pirates 2, I have a mind map of how the songs interact with each other. And it's not a concept album because this is too brainy and we're musicians first and we don't want to, you know, for now it's not our thing to make a concept album. But in the way I write lyrics and create a universe for one specific album at a time, I need to somehow have a connection. And I know this song refers to that. And this is the consequence of that song. And this is before this, because yeah, there are connections if you want to have fun and like that thread exists. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to point out, in case somebody watching this interview didn't catch that, Clemmy is responsible for writing the lyrics for Visions of Atlantis. She wrote all the lyrics for Pirates. She wrote all the lyrics for this new album. And I wanted to ask you, is there a song that has a special meaning for you on this new album?
All of them, in a way, are the reflection of my personal journey as a human being, and reflection on how to be and how to handle my own quests, my own sufferings, my own doubts, my own darkness. And in that regards, I think the dead of the sea and underwater are those that are the most close to me. But Magic of the Night is also a song I could still sing to myself because it's a friendly advice on going for the journey to find your own truth. But I think that the two that emotionally I feel the most connected to are The Dead of the Sea and Underwater. But I don't want to spoil too much on the interpretation. I would love everyone to find its own.
Right, right. I listened to that album I don't know how many times, and every time the connection with some of the songs were becoming stronger. You have no idea how many times I have very um, special moments with the lyrics, connecting with some phrases, with some lines, very emotive moments that evoke sometimes
I've seen
tears.
that.
So
Yeah.
that is very special. That is very special, and that tells me the quality of lyricist you are, and the heart you put on those lyrics. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. That is
Thank you.
pure joy.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Two singles have been released so far for the album, Armada and Monsters. Both songs are
Bangers.
great, and yeah, bangers, and the videos are top notch and cinematic. What can you tell us about the filming process of those videos?
So I'll try to sum up because there's a lot to say for both because it's two different worlds completely, and two different approaches because everything was shot on green screen almost for Armada because of the CGI. Because I knew I write the script for the videos as well. I'm the closest one to the meaning of the song through because I write the lyrics of it. So I was like, okay, if Armada is a single, I want the pirate ships. I don't care. I want the battleship in that video. So I was very much like, all right, gotta be those people from iCode in Serbia that can do that CGI. Of course, not Hollywood, but it doesn't matter. Your brain can understand.
But it looks pretty
that.
good.
Yeah, it was super fun to pretend to be on that ship, and the beautiful part of it was that the first day of the shooting, all the scenes that you can see that are shot in the cabin were shot on a almost circular screen. Like, I don't know if you are familiar with the Mandalorian series, but this is how they shot the Mandalorian. It's no green screen, it's the real screen. So you shoot the background with the actor. And for us, it's amazing to see because we can already see the final result and we can get the ambience of what we're shooting, the environment we're in. Whereas when you're on pure green screen, you have to use your imagination. Like, yeah, there's a ship here, and then it's the filming crew looking back at you. So it's a completely different approach, but it's also a lot of fun. I've always loved acting, so I love creating circumstances that can make that happen. And Monsters, we shot that in Switzerland in the studio, and a bit of outdoor parts as well, but mostly in the studio with VG Pictures, who are famous for making videos for Powerwolf, and they were amazing. It was the only time we worked with them so far, the first time, and they understood what I meant. We were on the same page when it comes to refining details and moods to portray the emotions that are the core of the meaning of that song, and it was a wonderful experience. To shot in that castle the first day, to shot in the studio the second day, and to have fun with the set, to improvise. For me, okay, I'm like, suddenly I had to be in that posture where I put myself, when I wrote the script, oh, now I have to be melancholy. How do I portray that? And it's not like I had so much time to rehearse anything, but the director at some point, he put music on set to match the ambience. Right. He put a very instrumental, experimental soundtrack, and that was very inspiring. And for some reason, I just started dancing there, and it wasn't planned at all. I was not even picturing that when I wrote the script and made the mood board. But on set, that's what happened, and I loved how they mounted that part and how it all went together. So it was a beautiful overall new experience in portraying the meaning of our songs through the use of cinema and working with very, very talented people who understood what we were doing.
right? And the outcome is fantastic. We have enjoyed those videos. We
Thank
can't
you
wait
so
for
much.
more videos to come out. So next one is for us, the fans of the band. We knew all along that you are the pirate queen, but now with Armada, you have made it official. You have the crown and everything. And we are convinced that the pirate queen is gracing the album cover. Can you explain the concept behind the artwork?
It's you looking at the next step on your journey, even if it could look terrifying. There is always death lurking somewhere, and death can be the end of life or can be changed. You know, like when you grow, you have to let the previous version of yourself die, and that is scary, but it is extremely positive too. That is why that character on the cover is fiercely looking at all this with a sword in hand, ready for whatever is coming at her. And this is the idea: is that whatever comes on your way, you'll find your strength to face it and to be strong no matter what.
Nice. That's
Very
very well
inspiring, yep.
explained. It makes perfect sense.
Okay, Clementine, to wrap up this chat, we would like to know what will be your essential personal thing you will take on a pirate cruise if you were to go on a ship.
Wi-Fi?
That's a good one.
or let's say navigation system. I mean, they had one.
They had
really
great ones.
So you absolutely need that. Because otherwise you don't have a clue neither where you are nor where you're going, and you can end up in the worst parts of the oceans out there that are very dangerous. So you don't want that to happen.
With the Kraken.
And you need to, yeah, right. or
the
massive storms,
Bermuda
like,
Triangle.
Oh no,
yeah.
I don't want to go there.
And you need to take some citrus on board with you, like lemons or lime, or else to fight scurvy. You know?
Oh yeah,
very
important. Okay, yeah, talking from the experience of a seasoned sailor and pirate. Okay, thank you very much for being with us tonight, for sharing us all this information. We have surely enjoyed Pirates 2 Armada, and we want to invite everybody to share this video if you like it. Make sure to buy and stream Pirates 2 when it comes out on July 5th. To double support Visions of Atlantis, and of course visit their shows whenever they come to your city. But until then, stay metal
and pirate. Arr, arr.